Heroes. It's Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour with your host, Bob Katie,
and John Piccarillo.
Welcome to episode 145 of Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
Welcome aboard, folks.
Yeah, we're a little barren here tonight, aren't we?
Well, life happens.
Yep. Obviously, well, we usually have Jay here. He's life happens. He's attending to some things.
Right.
So I'm sure he will be back toot sweet.
Yes.
Probably in a couple, probably around 140. Well, hopefully around 147. He will be. Next couple of episodes, he'll be back.
I think we have something lined up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got something lined up anyway.
Yep.
Got you there.
Next week we have something lined up, and then I think after that Jay will be back in form and ready to go.
And back in business.
Yeah, you guys burned yourself out on the last episode. Something, woo.
Yeah, that was,
Did yourself real good.
I did. Really strange. We discussed it, the following day, and I think I have to talk this over with Jay and see how he feels about it. But what I think is there was so much flavor in that beer that you only get that much flavor by pumping something in there. And a lot of those flavors are sugar-based. And anything with alcohol and
that usually
sugar
affects you the next day more,
and
though.
me, not great the next day.
No, but I mean, that put you were over the edge just with that night.
It's very hard for my mind to conceive how a beer can affect you so much when you're drinking. I don't know what this is, even 3-4%. I don't know, and that was 11 or 12, I think.
It was called "Knock You on Your Ass."
Oh, it was so delicious; it was worth it. But yeah, I'll apologize for leaving the show early last week. But it was delicious and worth every bit. And I was and we were talking to Greg. That's right. And we made him thirsty for that beer. So it did the trick. We definitely sold it.
Though.
Oh, it was it's hard to find apparently. But wow, that was yummy. Yummy. Just saying. So, hey, every once in a while we do these that we don't even have an agenda.
We have absolutely zero agenda because literally you all are going to be watching this on Friday. If you watch it the day it comes out, you'll be watching or listening to this Friday morning, afternoon. We are doing this Thursday night at 11 o'clock. So
it's the last minute show ever. Yeah, I think.
I think probably, yeah. Because I'm going to be literally walking from here over to my computer and editing it and uploading it before I go to bed.
So it'll be the quickest turnaround of
absolutely
show history.
Yeah, quickest turnaround. So we have absolutely nothing planned. We've got so much.
We should show
going on.
Show the camera Jay's new hat. Ah, look at that. Yes.
We got a 151 hat for Jay.
Yeah, waiting for his return.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah.
Before, it was only exclusive to band members. Now we have, my daughter's been doing our
She's honorary photographer.
Photographer.
Yeah. She's honorary photographer.
And Jay gets one. Well, he's on the show.
Well, let's also say that Samantha did some very excellent, just as good as I would think a professional could do.
I thought she did a great job.
She did better at the gig last Saturday then you're gonna make me do that right in the middle of a thought, you asshole.
Why do you want that beer so bad?
Because he's thirsty, dummy.
I forgot all about that.
There was a professional photographer there, and we got a hold of those pictures, and Samantha's were 500 times better.
That's a good
500 times better.
That's a good thing.
It was a
benefit.
It was a benefit.
For
so
hospice.
yeah, so no pay. We went and did the benefit, which we were happy to do because we like to go play.
Yeah.
But I mean, between the video that we got on the big stage that we played on,
got a lot of content to share.
the pictures, and
Samantha took a ton of pictures.
we whooped some serious ass in the process. We
I
pretty
think
much whooped everybody's ass.
Pretty
in the
damn good
process.
show, actually.
So
That reminds me of one of the things I shared with the band last night. I might as well share it with our audience. Is I was at dinner with my family, and I was saying, talking about that gig. And every time I drive away, I think to myself, why do you get yourself into those situations? Because it wasn't the benefit or anything like that. When I say situation,
the easy lift, as we
is
call
the
it.
easy lift, which means I'm playing on somebody else's drums.
Yeah, there's a couple versions of the easy lift.
Right.
The this
I like
was
the
this
dinosaur.
the dinosaur
Easy lift.
the
That's my
dinosaur
favorite,
there's
actually.
there's the
Even though
dinosaur.
I got to move more drums.
Yeah,
still mine.
Easy lift number 1 is that we don't need to do sound. We don't have to mess with the PA or any of that stuff.
Huge
We
bonus.
just bring our amps, guitars, and John has to bring his drums. That's
Which
easy
I like
lift
having
number
because I'm
1.
comfortable with
Yeah.
them, and has our logo on the front.
Yeah.
There's little things that it's set up for me.
Last Saturday at the Glove in Gloversville was the hospice. Where's the button?
Sounds like you have a dick in your mouth.
Hospice benefit, and that was easy lift number 2, which is the John doesn't have to bring anything. Did you? I mean, did you end up? Did
I
you
used
end up?
my stool.
Use
That
your
means
stool.
a lot to me. My sticks.
You didn't use the pedals that were there though, right?
Yep. And my
Okay.
wood block.
Oh, you brought the wood.
And the wood block.
It's basically John doesn't have to bring much of anything for drum.
That's a pretty light lift.
Drums. That's a light lift, and we just don't. And we just have to bring our amps and guitars in.
The trouble is, you never know what you're going to get in that situation.
That is
and
true.
I told my family, who are big fans of Chopped and Iron Chef and stuff like that, and I said, that's the way I feel about these. Is put yourself in a situation that's a little more challenging and get judged. See what other people say. You know what I mean? You gotta get
but they can also backfire tremendously.
Yeah, well,
because we went up there, we played, and you can kind of get a feel, at least kind of get a feel of, again, I had trouble hearing myself. Chris had trouble hearing me. John had trouble with no vocals. Greg couldn't hear his vocal. The on stage, the monitor mix on stage was a disaster, all the way around. It was just everybody wasn't hearing shit right, so it could have gone.
Makes it really tough.
Yeah,
Makes it tough,
and it makes you come off going like, we kind of felt like we didn't screw up, so it must have been okay at least. Because we didn't have. We knew we didn't have any.
We've got
big,
some video, and we approve.
Oh yeah, but
sounds good.
I'm just saying when we first came off and before we saw the video, we didn't know. And the thing that put us out there was the band before us that went on. They were actually really good. They were really tight.
Do you remember their name again? Because they were talking about it last night.
Static Q.
I'll have to write it down because I got to check some more stuff out. Because as you were about to say,
they were really. They had. I liked their song selection. They had very good song selection. They were all really good players. They sounded.
Sounded great.
Let's back up a little bit.
I'm sorry. I made the wrong.
They played really well.
Yeah, they
played.
really
They were
well.
tight.
Exactly.
They played well.
That's the right way
They
to
sounded
say it,
like
yep.
garbage because they were. They made a couple mistakes. Number one, the drummer used his own set instead of the set that everybody else was using, so the sound guy couldn't control what was going on there. And then the lead guitar player couldn't hear any of his lead. The sound was atrocious for these guys. Yeah. They got butchered in that process. And it really was too bad because they were actually quite a good band.
Yeah, the drums sounded great, but unfortunately, that's
all you heard.
All you heard.
That's all you heard.
I heard zero.
The guitars were mud.
Leads. I heard like
zero
leads.
Zero.
A little bit of background noise with the bass and guitars.
And you
even
heard
vocals
some
were way low.
low.
I mean,
yeah.
the drums were blown. And as a drummer, I understand it.
All you heard
Because
was
if you play in a little room, you don't mic your drum set and you're still blowing everybody
kick and
away.
snare, kick and snare, kick and...
It had a good sound.
The sound
got
got...
like the drums had a good sound,
but
they were just cranked.
The sound
up.
guy could not wrangle those drums to save his life. You know what I mean? He should have had that figured out by the end of the first song. And
I watched him, and I don't know how you want to figure out the specifics here, but they basically took the mics off of the set that was on the stage and just put them on that kit.
I didn't see that process.
Yeah, because I seen him start to mic up the drums. I'm like, oh, you're right. So they basically used the mics that were on that set, but that set had a totally different sound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, the set that was there was like, the 70s arena rock called and wanted its drums back.
I gotta say,
it was like Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden had set up his drums.
One of the coolest things about it was with Samantha, we got some great pictures.
Yeah,
they look like rock star pictures.
They look like concert shots
because the drum
in the 70s.
set's way bigger than anything I would use normally. Like if I was selecting the kit, it was way bigger than I couldn't reach half of the shit. You know what I mean? I wanted to, but it was so far away I couldn't even reach it.
Where is it?
So, but ultimately, it took some great photos.
Well, it's funny too because Linda's like, "Oh, a couple of pictures. Oh, you're doing your little rock pose there." I'm like, "No, I'm leaning back because I can't hear myself, and I'm trying to hear my amp." I go, "So there's the honest truth of that cool pose is that I was doing this. I was like leaning back to hear myself and try to get angled." And then the worst thing was turning around to give. We figured this out. The last couple of gigs, I've been on the wrong side of John, which has been making him work harder to get cues from me.
Yeah,
because me and him
gets ugly.
Do cues, yeah. So I said, all right. So I got on the right side that we agreed on was the good side to get on. And what happens is he has the wall of drums in front of him, so it's literally like playing peekaboo. It's like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? You can see.
I gotta look through this little hole.
You can see it on the video sometimes. I'm like ducking and weaving, trying to find just a spot where he might be looking at the same time.
See, I have purpose for my road kit. It's the reason it's
so it kind of felt like it was possibly going to be. There were times. Everything that probably was working against us in a certain way. But then we heard the video back and we're like, wow, that was fucking
worked good. All turned out well.
Yeah, the sound actually came out really well and everything came out great. And it was like, holy crap, we could pat ourselves on the back and say we kind of tore the place down.
And
as much as that place could have been torn down at that.
And helped
gig.
A little bit towards a good cause too.
Yeah.
That is what I call, folks, a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we probably came out of there with if what we would normally get paid at a gig. If we went and did pictures and video and the big stage, if we paid for all that stuff, we probably would have been paying more than what we would have been paid for a normal gig.
Yeah.
And we came away with that all for free.
Absolutely good way to look at it.
It was win-win-win-win.
Because it is
all
big,
the way around.
It's a great stage. It's like
it's a great build. It's a great old building. It's a great old theater.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like
Gloversville's Proctor's.
Obviously not as big though. But
no, it's not as big, but
it's an really nice old theater.
Yeah, it's great.
The stage
really
actually the
setup.
I don't think the stage is really that much smaller than Proctor's.
That's
Proctor's is probably got it was probably like 3/4 of Proctor's stage. I think Proctor's probably have another quarter to that stage.
Yeah.
Or more, you know what I mean?
But it was
something like that.
Was great for it.
Oh, you know what? That would be a place like that if you really had somebody really, really awesome doing sound and got really good. It looks like they had really good equipment and wasn't big on some of the sound, but if they had somebody in there really knowing what they were doing with sound, man, you could make that into a great rock club. You know what I mean? Think about if you had a bar at the back. You know what I mean?
Well, they had a bar.
Yeah.
In the front of the house.
That's true. Well, I call it the back, whatever. Front, back. The door, the entrance way.
The band comes in the rear, unfortunately.
He said it. I did not.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us.
You had to say it, didn't you? It comes in the rear.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John's Podcast at gmail.com, on Buzzsprout.com, and iTunes, or
Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram or Facebook Live.
and on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page at Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour. So that gig went very unexpected. Tom dropped that in our lap and asked if we wanted to do it.
We also turned that around in 2 weeks, I think.
No, that was like a week.
Less than a week.
Yeah, he dropped that in our lap on like
we
Monday.
had this conversation earlier. Mine are weekends. So if you want to go by the days.
He dropped that in our lap on Monday. We practiced the set list on
Wednesday,
and we were
Did the
playing
gig
it
on
Saturday.
Yeah, that's a pretty good turnaround. That's good. Kudos to the band for that.
You know, if you get us in a spot like that, we can turn around pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You give us one practice, we could give you away a really good 15-song set that'd tear the house down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With one practice. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A full show, I feel like we need like a couple of practices just to hone.
Which we have coming up very soon.
Yeah, might as well get to that now.
Or mention it a couple times.
Yeah. January 27th, which is this Saturday.
So it's not the day you're listening, but the day after.
Well, it depends on when you listen to it.
Right. If you're listening on,
if you're listening
when it
in
gets
July,
first
it's too late. Yeah,
that's true.
We'll just say Saturday, January 27th.
2018.
Yep. 151 will be live at Kelly's Imperial Lanes.
Yeah. I think they have a fancy name for the bar, though. It's like
I thought that's what it was.
Skyview Lounge.
Oh, in the Skyview Lounge. Yes. Yes. It's a full lift for us.
Yes, the full Monty, which I hate to ask you if you ran the test on the PA. You son
What do you think I'm going to be doing tomorrow?
Fuck. Whoa.
What do you think I'm
Today I was thinking about it, I was like, he didn't fucking do it today.
Well, and the whole thing is they dropped the day of the gig, Saturday, they dropped a house showing at 9 a.m. on us too. So it's like,
yeah, it's fucking up my weekend too.
Yeah.
I'm not even staying here because I don't want to be out of here before
for
they
one
show
night
up.
for Friday. Anyway,
I could have built a set Friday night.
You could have what?
Built a whole set Friday night.
Hey, I don't. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying I don't know.
There's Sunday night. You can build this
about putting
Sunday
it up.
night. Why?
Because then it's like magic. Then you get an offer, and we got to start packing up again.
Well, listen, it was made to be mobile.
You're exactly right. That's what
you told me. It's made to be mobile.
You're right. I developed it. Was made that way.
Your words coming right back on your ass.
You're right. You're right.
Right back at you. It's made to be
exactly
mobile.
right. I totally agree.
But anyway, so Saturday, January 27th from 8 to midnight, 151. We'll be at the Skyview Lounge at Kelly's Imperial Lanes in Amsterdam, up by Route 30.
I'm a little
right
excited
across from
about
Lowe's.
I've been wanting to go there for a long time. Never been.
It should be good.
Yeah,
I think
good. I think we're going to have some audience participation for sure. I know people are going.
I know people are going too. So, hey, what do you always used to say about this show?
Collecting them one at a time.
That's right. That's what we're doing. We're collecting them one at a time.
That's it.
And then we do not have a show in February because 151
I'm worried about these guys. They move good. I mean, they're always working.
No.
on something.
Greg had a few things. Remember?
All right,
He's got a few.
We're clear for February.
I think we're going to be clear for February
So we have some agenda items too.
We have studio time fully booked all through February to get what we need to get done. So we have some product hitting the airwaves as soon as possible in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We had a chance to play one of our originals at the benefit.
We did,
yeah,
and we did.
Yeah,
No, we didn't have a chance. We did.
We did, and it
went over very
felt
well.
like it was well received. Yeah, so that's always encouraging. So,
This Saturday we'll be playing 2 originals.
yeah, that'll be the first time for that.
Yeah. We have. They're sitting there. They're ready to. They're not ready to go, but they're
New music.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that?
We've got this.
Lord knows I love.
We've got this damn album 3/4 recorded, and then a lot of shit went sideways in the fall. John went to Italy for 2 weeks. We had the gig to work. We had the dinosaur gig to work toward.
Yeah,
and then packing because we thought we were out of here. So everything got. I don't think we've recorded much. I think maybe we've recorded like a couple of tiny things since September.
We haven't done any drum recording.
Well, because your drums are all done. I made sure of that before you got back from Italy.
I'm kind of ready. I'm a little hungry for some. I
have a feeling you're going to be putting that set back up too.
I have a feeling too.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to happen too. But so we should be. You know what? I feel that by the time February is over, we will have a video and our first single released.
That's good,
and we'll be able to play it on the show here.
I remember when starting the project January of this year was an original goal. So that's not bad.
Well, no, that wasn't starting the project. That was when we had got Greg and Chris. We were hoping to get something.
Now, that's what I mean
up
by
and running.
This group.
Unfortunately, this whole project went through a group change for the better.
Oh yeah,
for the better,
definitely.
And now we're going to see something to fruition.
Yep.
And like I said, it's 3/4 of the way done. Then just mixing and mastering, and one song is mixed. I just have to master it, and after this weekend, I think we're going to have a lot of footage flying around, or we're going to be seeing a video with it.
And I think it's safe to say once all of that is done, we'll probably start hearing more of our music on the show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what I'm expecting.
Well,
which is an exciting change.
Well, let's let them in on what's happening next week. Next week is the third round of 151 on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have the regular suspects sitting around going through some talking music. And a matter of fact, we will be debuting.
Are we doing it on band night?
Yes. We will be debuting the name of the new podcast with 151. The new 151 podcast. Okay. We have a name. Yeah. So we got a name. That's always the hardest part. Just like in a band, what's the name? That's always sometimes the hardest part.
Well, we got one and we stuck with it.
Yeah, we got one now that finally cleared by everybody and isn't taken by anybody. Mm-hmm. So we got that, and I think twice a month you're going to see a 151 podcast.
Oh, hey,
and
hey,
I
hanging with the fellas.
It's still cooking. So
rocking out with your cocks out.
It's not necessarily going to be under the Bob and John's flag. It might be on its own.
I was going to question how you're going to do that, but I don't know. I'm just
it might be on it. We don't know yet. There's still conversations going on.
Well, it has to be under Bob and John's right now because that's where we have.
Well, next week, yeah. So it might be for a little bit more.
Oh, so you were thinking about branching out?
Yeah,
oh like my goodness.
its own whole thing. Just you know what I mean. It might be its own whole whole thing to do, because as we found out with this podcast, when you're dealing with social media, especially Twitter and Instagram, if you have weekly product, it'll take off for you. Those two platforms especially will take off for you, because
maybe we should do 2 J's Brew, 2 151s, and then poop, poop, poop every other week.
We could, but the 151 thing might be off on its own. It might want to be, you know what I mean? Why right. I have a feeling we want to start.
Well, I hope we're not stealing listeners from one show to the next.
Why are you stealing them? Why can't you just share?
I don't know.
Nobody says you can only watch one.
Yeah,
There's no law against it.
That's true.
You're not watching podcasts and driving.
Why do you want that beer so bad?
Because he's thirsty, dummy.
You can. I listen to multiple podcasts.
Hey, I know one thing. When it comes to the band, when it comes to the podcast, I'm along for the ride. Here I am.
Along for the ride.
Here I am.
Now what'll that asshole think of next?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I'm sure what he'll think of next.
Yeah.
Dear
I mean,
Lord.
this is way better than. See, I struggle with this. I try not to involve work with the show.
Yeah.
I try not to.
It's way better than what you do for a living.
Yeah. That's right.
Sounded kind of simple, didn't it? We're just simple people.
Yeah.
We're simple people.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it happened because Bob and I can talk shit all night long anyway.
Well, we were talking shit all night long. We decided to put it out there for people to listen
Every
to.
once in a while, we could crack ourselves up so much we'd be laughing our asses off. So, why shouldn't other people laugh their ass off?
It's like, well, if we just take this and
put it down. Hey, maybe it's not all material.
Hey, we got an iPad. I looked up a few things on a podcast. Put that fucking damn radio degree I got sitting around collecting dust into use, and
that's right.
Away we went.
Bing-a-da-boom-a-bing-a-da-boom.
Yeah. And then when we invited Jay, and he found out what an actual podcast was.
Yeah. Totally down with it.
Absolutely.
Always wanted to be in radio.
And the guys in the band started watching, and they dug into it.
That's what I was saying. I hope we don't make them only the 151 listeners, but I'm trying to picture the big a whole new, because I know we've spun off before for football.
Yeah, but that was a terrible idea. We did it for a couple seasons and it was not good. But you got to throw things to the wall and see if they stick.
That's right.
You know what I mean? This it will be a lot different because it will be talking.
We're going to be talking about
five musicians talking
about music. Yeah,
trying to be
totally different.
Trying to squeeze some funny in there, in the process.
Oh no, it will be funny.
So it's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be in its own monster, and we can put our music in there and promote ourselves and music. And
now we're talking.
Well, that's what. That's why I think it's going to start off being a few weekly drops. And let's put it this way. It might be under the Bob and John's banner, but that doesn't mean it can't go out on the same day as one of the Bob and John's podcasts. So that doesn't mean it has to replace a Bob and John's podcast, like you were saying. We can have two in a week.
It's easy to link that to our page, too, right?
Well, it would still go up under that banner.
I know, so but if you're on our page, it would be easy to link up to the show.
Oh, you mean on the band page?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do... Well, that'll have to be somewhere. That's what I'll call Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hey!
Figure some shit out,
Future business coming your way.
Because Greg is awesome at that stuff. He just and suddenly we got videos up and all sorts of stuff. He came in, took right over on that shit, and I was like, hey,
"You the man.
Gonna hand this shit right to you." he takes care of he takes care of more video and website type of stuff. I take care of the audio, and Chris takes care of dead bodies and.
I guess. Yeah.
The people at his work think he's a serial killer.
And so do we.
Yeah, I know.
Is there something maybe we're onto something?
I don't know. It's funny.
He can play the part too, I'll tell you. He can. If you pay attention, he'll
Tune in next week, you'll find out.
Yeah. We'll be questioning him.
We'll be Excuse me. Have you
Chainsaw or hatchet?
We keep making fun of him like he's the guy in American Psycho, which is great.
You know, I never saw that movie until Chris came around, and then there's all these references.
It's a great movie because it's a great Christian Bale is completely insane and it's awesome.
I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I've seen clips.
The clips you've seen are good though.
Yeah. I was going to say, does he have a plastic tuxedo?
Yeah, the plastic over the tuxedo bag or whatever. Yeah. And a love for Phil Collins.
Yeah.
All right.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power.
You're titillated, aren't you? All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John's Podcast at gmail.com, on Buzzsprout.com, and iTunes, or
At Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram or Facebook Live.
and on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel at Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour. This place is a fucking mess. Dear Lord. We've been all out of sorts since like October. Just those people that fucked us.
We're not bringing those big fuckers, are we? This weekend?
Those?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are it. We're not taking those big fuckers.
Right.
Because those and that, no, we're not doing the big setup. That's not bad. That's it.
Yeah, that's not
Boom. We're taking boom. And we're taking that little box over there. Boom.
You only ran those down here one time, though, right?
Yeah, I know they work. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a test tomorrow.
It's too much.
What do you mean it's too much? Oh, for down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those they got 15s in them, so that's a little much for a basement to be bouncing around sound. And we do a good enough job with what we got with the,
Yeah.
and everything. I don't even know. Well, no, we do have to bring all the monitors because you want to go to a monitor now. So
Yeah. Is Tom's just like that one right there?
same make, same thing. So that's a 12. So. And that's actually more truly a monitor, where these are more. These are mains.
Yeah.
So that's about the only difference.
Just thinking
there.
about the show, you know.
Yeah.
So you're in testing mode tomorrow,
Tomorrow I have to be,
and I hope it goes well, because if it doesn't,
I'll make it work. Don't worry about it.
something wrong.
Yeah, I won't be happy, but I have like 5 boards down here, and one will work and work for us.
Yeah. What's the backup for the power?
What do you mean?
If that wireless thing, you don't get that rebooted and figured out.
Oh, you mean the one in the box over there?
Yeah.
Then that one.
Okay.
The one that we use every week, which is what I don't want to do, because I don't want to take that out of the practice
I know
environment.
you don't want to like in and out.
Yeah, I don't.
Stuff
I
like
would
that.
be shocked if this one didn't. I just have to figure out how to do a quick fast.
You always
I have
need
to
a
look up.
contingency plan,
I have-
especially when it's getting tight.
I also have 2 other boards over there if we needed it. So
Well, it's not the boards I'm worried about. It's the power.
they don't have power in them.
Oh, those
Those-
fuckers aren't.
They're
don't
powered.
need it anymore, huh?
They're powered.
Oh.
The two mains are powered.
No,
now.
so we're covered.
Yeah.
No problemo. No
Listen.
wonder why he's so relaxed. I forgot that those things don't need power amps.
We have like three different PAs down here or something that we can concoct
Alright.
pieces and make things work.
All right.
So we don't have to worry.
No problemo.
No, yeah.
One less thing I got to worry about.
The fuck do you got to worry about in the begin with?
If the sound don't work, we can't play.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about it.
I am with the band. The band can't play. I'm part of the problem.
Everything will be fine.
All right.
If in an emergency, Tom's probably got like 3 PAs to use too,
And we're
Greg's
really
probably
kinda,
got one too.
We're really kind of local, actually. We have a lot of options.
Tom, we got more 2 options from. Well, at the Troy gigs, we were kind of more local because I don't think Chris and Greg were that far.
Right.
For the Troy gigs, that was us. That was me, you, and Tom that were farther.
Mm-hmm.
So this time, I think it's the other way around. It's Chris and Greg that had the longer haul. Although the glove was real long for them because they had to go up and past the glove.
The glove was out there.
Yeah.
Hey, but like we said, there was a lot of good stuff that came out of it.
Oh, absolutely. They don't bitch about traveling anyway. They don't care. They want to go have fun, play music.
I'm the non-travel guy normally, but I was a nice day with my daughter, so it was.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
No, it was a good day.
It wasn't that bad.
No,
It was cold as shit.
It
though.
was cold. It was
Windy cold,
nasty
like
cold.
nasty motherfucker. Oh, brutal,
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
brutal. Oh Lord.
Like a 5-minute project, like run into your car, which I had to do over and over again because I wasn't sure what I needed was enough. You're like, oh wow, no,
Yeah.
This is stupid.
And they had in the stairs coming down the back stairs from the door because you came downstairs to the back of the stage.
the back door.
Yeah.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! Don't you put that on us!
That's what the bands do.
I am not gay, senor. You just make me do gay things.
The stairs that went down had no railings. Number 1, number 2, there was no light. So you're just like everybody walking down. You just say,
Especially when you come from the brightness of snow, like being outside.
and when you have
sunlight,
stuff in your hand,
Yeah.
you can stuff in your
get there,
hand.
You're totally blind in the darkness. No railing.
Brutal.
Yep.
Yeah, my day tomorrow's gonna or
Life
Friday's
of a
gonna.
musician.
My day Friday's gonna. Friday and Saturday are gonna really completely suck in a way. I got to try to sneak in a nap Saturday somewhere just for a couple hours just to get some quick shut eye because I'm gonna have to be up at 6 a.m. to get this house ready for that thing and then.
I do not envy you.
No, I don't envy myself on that. That's bullshit. The worst time. I mean, just shit. Shit.
Shit.
That's all it is.
All I know is I'm going to be so busy in February that we're into March and that's spring.
Oh, here we go again.
Jackass.
What an asshole!
Do I got to fill my wine? How much time we got left?
No, you don't fill your wine.
Okay. I got a little beer here.
Okay. Because it's going to be, we're making it a little short this week, folks.
I thought you
because-
said you wanted it to be short, so
I do because we got shit to do. I got some sleep to get a hold of.
Yeah, there's a lot to do.
You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah, I got to get,
Well, I hope we have at least a half an hour.
half hour what left?
No, that we've already consumed.
Yes, we're at 40 minutes.
Ah, see? That's beautiful.
Oh,
see?
Oh, my Lord.
Maybe next podcast we'll have the scene back up.
Ooh. I
don't even know what time it is.
And we have to figure out.
Nope, not tonight.
We have to figure out what the rest of this, what if we're going to put the desk fully back together, or are we going to continue with the table and the desk? Or what are we going to do? You know,
I think if we can do the table and the desk would be cool.
Yeah, it's like two different levels there.
I know. Be weird.
Yeah, it would.
There's only one way to find out what it looks like, though.
Yeah, that would be too weird. I think we'd have to go with expanding the top of the desk, the top of the podcast table.
Everybody up?
Yeah, except I don't. Well, no, we wouldn't. Well, you stand, so I'd be short one bar.
That's the whole reason why we have the tall desk.
Yeah, I'd be short a bar stool, but I think you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get one for like 10, 15, $20 or something cheap like that. You know what I mean? I think you can get one fairly. If that one over there, I think was gotten fairly cheap, and we've used that quite a number of times with other people.
We'll figure it out.
Don't we always?
Oh yeah.
So hopefully, at some point in the next, suddenly everybody's gonna tune in to watch, and boom, we're gonna be back to having graphics and sets and stuff back again.
It'll be quick
instead of looking like we're in a basement.
Yeah. Hey.
Shit happens. You have to adapt.
This was only going to be for like an episode if everything played out right.
Yeah. If everything had played out right, it only probably would have been an episode or two. And that was it.
Amazing.
We were going to make a quick boom.
That's all right. Goes back to my philosophy there. It's like Iron Chef. Take what you got, make it great. Why are you laughing?
Oh, my muffins are ready.
If my thighs will let me. If I want to hear that.
You want to hear that.
I'm going to squeeze right in here if my thighs will let me.
Oh.
You'll always have a place to drink here, you degenerate scumbag.
Oh, and of course.
Oh, I wish I was Beyonce.
Oh, yeah, we got to get some new drops too. Things in the month of February, I think some normalcy is going to be coming back to our lives a little bit.
I hope so.
You know, I'm going to have the studio. My mission next week is to have the studio up back and things where they should be and everything else, and hopefully you'll have the set back up so maybe we can.
I love looking at my drums from over here. It's great. They're beautiful. I love them. The camera's right in front of me, so I get to look at the camera and my drums.
You really do not need a significant other right now in your life. You really don't.
No.
You are too much into you right now.
I am. I'll agree, Bob.
John loves some John right now.
That's right. I really.
He would have an enormous Schwanzstücke.
I love it.
He's going to be very popular.
See.
you like you some John.
Yeah, it's good time, man. It's good time.
Oh dear Lord!
I like, I enjoy it.
I'm gonna put my nutsack on your drum set.
Bang bang, right there.
Bang bang, right.
Bang bang. Look at that. It's so shiny and pretty. It's very, that's my.
They can't see it because it's behind the camera.
I know. I wish I could.
It's behind the camera.
I wish I could turn the camera around and show.
It's behind the camera. So.
I could do it. It wouldn't even mess with anything because we're not using green screen. So.
No, you're not going to do that. You know what?
So pretty.
If I let him do it, it's just starting something and letting him out, and then it's all, you know.
It'll eat up an hour. Don't do that. At least an hour.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John's Podcast at gmail.com, on Buzzsprout.com and iTunes, or
at Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram or Facebook Live.
and on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, a Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour. Did you hear on Thursday, which is really today, but Thursday, they were doing this. Vince McMahon is bringing back the XFL football.
The summer league or the girls?
No, it's going to be family friendly. It's going to be real competition, he says, for the league this time, for the NFL. He's resurrecting it and bringing it back.
XFL.
Do you remember when he did the XFL?
I think so.
And it was a little bit more wrestling.
Yeah.
It had like some different rules, and he tried to be out there a little bit, and it was a little more sluttier and stuff like that. He's bringing back the XFL, but it's going to be, he's going to concentrate more on real football, and it's going to be because WWE right now is in a PG phase, so it's going to be family friendly. And he's giving it, it's going to debut in January of 2020, so 2 years from now, because he wants to he's going to be like 8 teams. He's going to wants to give them time to get rosters and get practice like a real team and everything else. I guess last time he only gave it a year, and that's why it suffered. The product on the field suffered. But, so I guess he's taking it from that. And the other thing is he had partners before. This one is being funded solely by himself. So he's the boss.
I ran out of booze. The
end all be all. You going to go turn off the camera on us again this time? But
So how do you feel about its success? Do you think it'll work?
No, I don't think it'll work, but listen, it all depends on his it all depends on his his realism. You know what I mean? I guess it would be like
Vince?
Yeah, I guess it would be like somebody, I guess it would be like a billionaire who owned a football team going, I'm going to start a wrestling business, and trying to compete right away with the WWE. You're not going to make it. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're going to crush you.
Yeah.
If he does it smart and just realizes if he can get something up and going and at least turn a profit within a couple of years or something and get people to watch it and make it counter seasonal with the NFL.
So he's only working on a team.
No.
He's trying to make a league?
It's a league.
Oh.
The XFL was a league and is going to be a league again.
I don't know.
It's going to start with 8 teams.
I don't know if that's going to work.
He's going to own the whole thing, though, from top to bottom.
Yeah, but you can't get the talent that the NFL gets.
Well, listen. Back in the day, they said that about the AFL. And the AFL poached players from the NFL and went and drafted guys like
So you think there
Joe
might be
Namath.
a third league in the future?
Third league? Second league?
American?
No, that was back in but the AFL was counter to the NFL in the 60s. They got big enough to the point where the NFL and the AFL merged, which then you got the NFC, AFC, and it all became the NFL. They went and paid a lot of money to some stars. Like they went and they poached Joe Namath in the draft before because I think he got drafted by an NFL team too. What would happen is these guys, the NFL would hold their draft, the AFL would hold their draft, and then it was a fight to get the guy to go to either league. So somebody in the NFL, and I don't remember what team, had the rights to Joe Namath. He just decided to go with the Jets, who drafted him in the AFL. And then suddenly a couple of players actually went over to the AFL from the NFL. And then they started getting more of the top star college players that were coming to the AFL. And the thing that broke the camel's back was the AFL was floundering Then they got a TV deal, and that cemented them. That finally put them over and cemented them to a point where the NFL was like, they're not going away. You know what I mean? They got a TV deal. Back then, that was big news.
So is that what you're saying Vince McMahon is trying to create? Is another
Probably.
branch?
Yeah. Sure. He's not. He's just trying to create another league.
There's
that's all.
obviously money. I mean, some of those stadiums, when I get a look at people in a packed stadium, it's amazing. It's like we're talking like blowing away Roman theaters. You know what I mean?
Well, it depends how big that Roman theater is.
How many?
The Los Angeles Coliseum, no, because that holds like 120,000 or something. That's like a ridiculous amount.
Seeing that shit packed is pretty impressive.
They might have. The last time the NFL packed the Los Angeles Coliseum was probably for a Super Bowl. There he goes.
I believe you. I
there
don't
he
have
goes.
to look.
He stumbled. He almost fell right on you. He almost fell right on you. See, we got to get a.
We haven't had one of those in years. I think we were still over there when we were.
Yeah. We cleaned this place out, man. But it's been a cold winter, so they're really looking for homes.
I think the garage door has been open and closed a lot, like left open and closed a lot more this year.
Oh, that motherfucker's gonna die.
He going down.
Yeah,
I got no concern about it.
Because we all know who's coming to get him.
I don't think anybody watching or listening knows what we're talking about.
We're talking about a Mies.
It's happened on the show before, like
the very first ones.
Basement, and every once in a while, especially in the winter, we get mice that run. There's a ledge right here. Before the timbers,
but we haven't had it. We thought we finally plugged all
down here in a long time.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing is there was a trap that was put up there like 3 years ago.
Yeah, when we cleaned up the set,
we cleaned up we cleaned up the set. John found a bones, but that wasn't even the best part though. We came down here to do the first podcast in this situation with the table and everything, and I found over by where John stands the old 3-year trap with a brand new dead mouse in it on the floor. So that asshole went and got himself busted 3 years later.
Yeah. I think the first season down here is when we got strong arm with the mice.
Oh, we're gonna
because when we were on the show and you could see them, something wrong.
Right now, something wrong.
Yeah, traps are going up.
If my wife was awake, I'd be making a phone call right now because we bought on Amazon like 30 traps.
She'd be setting them up right now.
Oh, I know right where it's going to
go. That's how we find these things.
That's right. Yeah, in the wintertime, I think it's just inevitable with the mice.
I think there was 1 year. I think we prevented it, though.
The last 3 years.
It seems like we went through at least a winter.
The last 3 years, we haven't seen hide nor hair of any of them.
Yeah.
Because we got that one dryer vent. You took care of the dog hatch over there and everything. We sealed that up pretty well. Yeah. But they always find a way in, especially you got a house this big.
When the garage is open, they sneak in, man.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to have the garage open when you're
I know.
doing
We got
wood
shit
and
to do. We got shit to do, man.
All right, one last time. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at bobandjohnspodcast@gmail.com, on buzzsprout.com, and iTunes, or
at Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram, or Facebook Live.
And on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page at Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. And this Saturday, January 27th, 8 to midnight, at the Skyview Lounge in Kelly's Imperial Bowling, 151 from 8 to midnight. Come check us out.
I have a really good feeling about this show.
We'll rock your block off,
I'm
brother.
very excited. Very excited for this show.
We'll rock your block off, brother.
Rock and roll.
Say goodnight, John.
Good night, John.
Stadler?
Yeah, what?
Is that it?
Yes, it's over. How'd you like it?
I don't know. I slept through the whole thing.
Well, you didn't miss much. Chico! Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby! Don't you put that on us!